Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. That is right, you read the bottom of the screen right. FrameworkFortune.com is now live. Be patient with us as we're still adding things and taking suggestions and feedback from the community to build this experience for everybody in the community to the maximum potential. So if you haven't yet, go check it out. Free trial for 7 days right now. And then after that, if you purchase your whole year's subscription up front, it is only $2 a month. That's right, only $2 a month. Come join us. Stay in touch with the whole Framework Fortune community all throughout the day. But enough of that. Time is our most valuable asset, so let's not waste any more of it. And let's dive in. So the SPY having that rebound today, very strong rebound too, all the way back up to 432 here in after hours. It's still climbing. Do have a little bit of a head and shoulders here on the 5-minute chart. Head here, shoulder here, shoulder here. So the SPY could sell off a little bit before tomorrow. We may see that happen because it didn't close above the 10-day moving average there at the top. It closed right below it. But because we bounced off that 50, and we've bounced off the 50 all those times I talked about last night and before, we'll probably continue to bounce up because the Feds are pumping. They're clearly pumping because the market was looking really bleak yesterday, and now it's back looking good. So, of course, all the inverse ETFs, UVXY, VXX, all of those had some pullbacks today with the SPY rebounding so hard, and that's why you got to wait until you get some confirmation of which way the market's going. Until this 50-day breaks, a strong break, we do not have any confirmation that the market is going to drop any lower. So the number one trade today, without a doubt, Nuro, up 207%. Big run on this. And yes, I did trade it. As you can see there, a bunch of sell orders, and I got a couple of buy orders here. This worked out actually pretty good, even though I had a little mishap. The mishap was to my advantage. Nuro had some volume, some pop in pre-market, not a whole lot, but some. And then they came out with this news that they got FDA breakthrough designation for fibromyalgia, which is a disease that basically everything hurts and the person who has it doesn't know why. So there's not any competition out there for treatment or curing fibromyalgia. And their device supposedly is going to help with that. So really getting some good volume in here. But I saw that PR. We are already crossed over the 40 DMA here, the purple line. So I got in there looking for it to continue to climb. It did climb up to 450 before getting rejected at the pre-market high. Came back down, and in this area I was thinking about adding a stop loss. I turned my AT ladder on, and when I did that, I accidentally bought 100 more shares right here. Very happy little accident. And then as it continued to rip, made a nice U-shape, bounced off of those indicators, and just climbed up this adaptive 10 EMA, the gray line, with barely any pullbacks until it got to $9. So I sold most of my position all the way up through here, and then sold the last little bit somewhere up in this area on this candle because it was looking like an indecision candle. And I kept 20 shares just because the PR was so good. So I am still in Nuro right now. I still have 20 shares. It did hit 14.12, having a little bit of pullback here in after hours after this initial run up, but I'm up $342 on this trade. Made up all of my losses from last week, and I am green on this account now, and green for the week. Very nice so far. In 2 days, I'm up about $400 off of not a lot of trades. This Nuro trade was the only trade that I took today because the money was there. Like I said in the live stream, I smelt the linger of Red Bull and Cheeto fingered apes catching FOMO and running into this play. So this definitely turned into that FOMO play, and this could keep running tomorrow. I mean, with this type of breakthrough, it would be easy to see this continue its climb. This is a very big run, so we may have a sell-off tomorrow possibly. Anytime you have a big run like this, you gotta expect a possibility of a sell-off the next day. Most times it is a sell-off the next day. This one is a special circumstance, which also is why I kept those 20 shares instead of just locking them out. Most of the time it's not a good idea to hold a trade all day. They usually turn around on you. But with this one being so low float, having that really, really good PR, pretty much undeniable PR, and the FOMO from traders missing out the initial rip and jumping in here, we're probably going to see this hype train continue. We saw multiple stocks the last couple of weeks when the market was hot climb over the whole week. Have some days of pullbacks, but overall hit higher prices. So I have no idea how much further this is going to go, if it even is. But all my 20 shares at this point are in profit. But like I said, very special circumstances where you want to do that. But if you lock out most of your profits on the way up, like I did, and then you know for a fact, even if this was to drop at this point down to zero, my 20 shares is priced at $3.94. The 20 shares, even if this went to zero, would only be $80 that would be taken away from my profit. And more than likely, it's not going back to zero, and we might not even see it back down to $4 for a little while. But it is very low float, so anything is possible with it. My GLG Swing actually has broken the downtrend. There was that triangle, that kind of wedge we were looking at. It broke that and got a run up, and almost at after hours, right there in power hour, up to 111. Sold back off here in after hours again, down to $1. Dollar is holding, but you look on the daily chart, we closed above the 50-day moving average. So now that we're out of that downtrend and we're above the 50-day, we're very close to making that next leg up to that 200-day moving average. So the next top NASDAQ gainer was NBRO. They didn't have any news, but getting some action in pre-market. Actually yesterday, getting some action yesterday, climbing sideways through pre-market, and then made it looks like a little triangle here until about 12 o'clock, and then it had a big breakout up to 563. So nice late move on that. And there was a couple of pop plays you could have got in there for some quick profits too, but I was focused on Nuro this morning. I didn't look at anything else the whole entire live stream, so I apologize for you guys out there who want to see other stocks. NVFY, no news on this one, just started running today a little bit. Looks like it had that crossover right there, the 10 crossing over, and just blasting off here all the way into after hours up to 577. So probably just a rebound from the market coming back up. And yeah, it held that 50-day, bouncing through the 10, running into a little resistance. But this one is only 5 million in float too, so keep it on watch for tomorrow. IPWR, this is Ideal Power. So they're sampling some of their switches with top 10 global automakers. And this is going to be for electrical vehicle drivetrain, power conversion, circuit protection. Pretty good PR. Started climbing, looks like Monday, and has continued to climb all the way up to 16. It's now above all EMAs on the daily. Super low flow, only 6 million in shares. Yeah, and it's got some room up to $20 if it opens up and continues to rip tomorrow. Maybe even up to this high year at 25. Yeah, overall the whole year this has been climbing nicely, so that could definitely be a play tomorrow. Let's throw that on the watch list too. TLIS getting a rip this afternoon, holding its gains so far in after hours. It does have room up to 17.18 on the daily chart where the 200 is. Pretty low float, 25 million shares. We could see that possibly take off tomorrow too. Depends on what the market does. STAF went on a nice move today too. See, did they have any? No, it doesn't look like they had any PR, getting halted multiple times. Started out with a little buying volume there yesterday, and it kind of continued on in that after hours and pre-market. but having a breakout today over that 50-day moving average up to the 200 at 461. It actually went a little higher to 474, but pulled back right around that 461 area. So nice move there, giving back most of its gains though so far. This was a perfect head and shoulders pattern though. Head here, shoulder, shoulder. So when you hear me say head and shoulders pattern, this is usually what follows. You usually have an arm down that follows. You get the arm up into the shoulder and then the arm down from the shoulder. But it could be one to keep on watch. That's all the stocks I'm going to cover for today. So let me know your thoughts on any of these stocks or positions you're holding down in the comments. And if you haven't joined the FrameworkFortune.com community yet, come join us. All types of content going to be going up there. And even though today was hot, tomorrow when we come back into the market for the live stream day trading in the morning, we still want to be very cautious because we are under those EMAs on the SPY. We could see a sell-off very easy tomorrow, and we might not have the same volume and big explosive moves that we had today. The volatility in the market and the indecision right now, we have to be ready every single day for a different situation or scenario to adapt to. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time.